In the previous episode, we learned how Sir Gairy assembled a team of high-ranking experts from disparate fields and impressed upon the United Nations to grant the UFO phenomenon the importance it duly deserves. We'll now delve into a bizarre experience Sir purportedly had with an extraterrestrial in his home country, Grenada, and also understand how a sudden, wholly unexpected turn of events halted the late Prime Minister from ensuring complete disclosure about aliens. The tight-lipped approach regarding the subject of extraterrestrial life that governments across the world have adopted, primarily in the United States, is something that has flummoxed anybody who has ever pondered the need for such confidentiality on so vital a topic to humankind. In the closing scenes of part 1 of this video, we learnt that Sir was determined to know why the existence of UFOs continues to remain a secret. These words gain great consequence when we learn they aren't merely exaggerated statements made by a world leader who was a UFO enthusiast too. Strange as it sounds, well before his address at the United Nations and the eager push for UFO disclosure, Sir claimed to have had his own personal encounter with an otherworldly being, albeit a dead one. On the night of the incident, Gairy, who was spending his leisure hours in a popular Grenadian nightclub, the Evening Palace, was taken aback to see a local fisherman burst in and excitedly say he'd come across an odd-looking humanoid that had washed up on the beach. Who was heavily interested in paranormal phenomena, quickly arranged a small military unit and a photographer. He then asked the man to lead him to the spot where the entity was found. Alleged later that when the investigating team arrived at the scene shortly before dawn, they witnessed a couple of fishermen at the site standing guard next to something covered by tarpaulin. When the men pulled the tarp back, Sir and his group momentarily recoiled in horror, for their eyes beheld an inexplicable sight. An enormous humanoid creature nearly 8 feet tall, with pale white skin and white braided hair, lay soaking wet and motionless. With the facial features of an adult human male, the bizarre being's hands had 6 digits each. This extraterrestrial entity was clothed in a dark blue, skin-tight, one-piece suit with footwear attached. As the sun rose, it became apparent to Sir and the assembled crew that the entire beach was littered with weird metallic debris. 8 boxes were identified, of which only 2 could be opened with considerable difficulty. These boxes contained aquatic flora and fauna, as though the dead creature was on a mission to collect the specimens for study. 2 trucks, one for the boxes and another for the giant, appeared on the scene, and the peculiar cargo was spirited away to an undisclosed location. Although Sir spoke about the incident in an interview, he never disclosed where the body had been taken, nor what became of the containers retrieved along with it. And of course, he wasn't forthcoming about the photographs they'd clicked on site. Prime Minister Gairy earned a massive victory on December 18, 1978, when the UN General Assembly adopted Grenada's resolution to study the taboo subject of UFOs. But before any gains could be realized for the ufology community from the November 1978 UN resolution and subsequent discussions, Gairy was dislodged from power in a bloodless coup in March 1979. Ironically, while he was away at the UN for further discussions with Secretary General Kurt Waldheim about the recently adopted UFO resolution. The meeting was canceled, and subsequently, given the timing of the coup, conspiracy theorists blamed the US and UK for sabotaging Sir bid for transparency and disclosure about unidentified flying objects. For now, all we're left with is speculation and great appreciation for Sir unwavering attempts to seek disclosure.